Well, good evening and welcome into the David Paisano Show on a very, very special Friday night. That's right, it's the David Paisano Show, counting down the hours until I leave for New Mexico. Yeah, I'm getting up at 4 o'clock. I'm going to drive out to New Mexico, hopefully, get there by 1 o'clock. I'm actually going to try to get there by noon so I can have some food. uh, Hopefully, it'll be some great barbecue or something like that. Probably will be, you know. I don't know. The gas is going to be terribly expensive no matter where I stop, but you know, I guess the trip became a little bit more expensive, but gonna get to see the Wild Horse Arroyo tomorrow, 1 o'clock. Hopefully, it didn't rain too much out there. I haven't got a notification saying that it has been canceled, but I mean, I guess there is that slight possibility that it rained too much and it will be canceled. But anyway, looking forward to getting up early, driving out there, and enjoying the tour. It's supposed to be over at 4:30, so I'll be heading to Raton after that, and staying in the hotel. I might go to K Bob's. Somebody suggested K Bob's is a good steak place to eat at, so I might go to K Bob's. Uh, and if anybody's out there that I know, maybe we'll have some fun. Bowling. Maybe we can find a bowling alley or see a movie. I live in a town of 45,000, and the AMC Theater just announced that they're going to close. So I'm now going to be living in a town that has 45,000 people with no movie theater. Can you imagine that? Okay, let's see. Considering the last movie I went to was more than 10 years ago, maybe that's indicative of as to why the movie theater closed. Um, I'm still, I mean, honestly, I paid for that. I paid for that bucket of popcorn over time, and I think I've got one final payment, and I will finally have paid for that bucket of popcorn that I purchased at the theater. Oh man, that was a really bad joke, wasn't it? But isn't it? I mean, these subscription services. I mean, that's the name of the game. They give you get a subscription, and you can have your pet food delivered. You pay a subscription, and you can have toilet paper delivered. You can pay a subscription and have ink delivered for your inkjet printer, and you might not even need ink. I mean, but you can get a subscription for it, and they'll make sure you get new ink cartridges every month. Uh, so Jeff has given me the update. It did not rain in Santa Fe. Well, that is good news. I just recently looked at a radar report, and it looked like there was a huge storm heading towards Guyman, Oklahoma. And I figured, well, if that one developed right there uh, at the Arroyo, they might be having a repeat of what happened when they first discovered these bison. So, anyway, well, I will maybe look forward to seeing you out in that general area then maybe tomorrow sometime. I'll just text you, or you can text me, whatever. But yeah, so it looks like the gig is still going to be on. So that's a good report. I'm glad I got some local information on that. It might be a little steamy. I hear maybe 85 degrees in the shade. Oh, you'll be up that way at 5. Well, I think the thing ends at 4:30. Uh, Maybe we can go have a steak at K Bob's or something. Uh, oh, Guyman sucks. Well, I didn't stay. I didn't say I was gonna spend a long time there. I just said there was a storm over there. Well, maybe it'll clean up the city if it rains heavy there. So, uh, yeah, there's a lot of those towns in that part of the state that are few and far between, and there's not many services. I usually stop. I can usually drive safely, gas wise, to Boise City. There's a love store there, and I think I've ate I think I've ate at the Dairy Queen a few times in Boise City. Uh, why would I be eating at Dairy Queen in Boise City? Man, I may have to move up my time till 3 o'clock and get going at 3 if I'm arriving at Boise City in time for lunch in the past. I may have to check my route again. But anyway, so I usually stop and get gas at Boise City, and then uh, there's a there's another place that I've stopped and gotten and get my Monster energy drink, get excited. Uh, I usually have to stop at the bathroom at the Sierra Madre or whatever rest stop. And then there's the High Country Mercantile, where I always stop and get a couple of Monster energy drinks. So I'm primed for whatever I'm going to do that day. Sometimes it takes a little extra motivation, like a six pack or two. Well, there's the nomadic madman. I went through Boise City on the way to Joplin, Missouri. Did you take 56? Oh no, you stayed down. You went to Joplin. That's in the southern part of the state. So you probably got on uh what is that? Did you get on 100 and go like through Wichita? 400. Did you get on 400 there at Boise City and then take 400 across the bottom of Kansas to get there, or did you take another route to get to Joplin? You took 55. Well, I can't drive 55. Uh, but anyway, yeah, so 400 kind of comes right in there to Boise City, and that takes you across to Wichita. Uh, and I thought, oh, you would be going north if you went to Wichita. You don't need to go north if you're going to Joplin. You need to go through Oklahoma, I think, to get to Joplin, the northern part of Oklahoma. So anyway, well, I'm glad to see that you made it over there and back. I saw your video there at the La Fonda Hotel, and I remember I was at the Fenn, um, and one of our events at a certain Fenn was that we all went and ate lunch at the La Fonda. And believe it or not, I think I ordered the enchilada special, and they were great. So you're right. Really good food at that restaurant at the La Fonda Hotel. Very, very, very tasty meal. And I sat next to this lady that swore that Forrest Fenn was a flyboy and he probably hit on every woman he could find when he was in the military. And she was wondering why she was supposed this lady was supposedly a concert pianist. And this Fenn was the one that I think had the fire in Hyde Park, and so they had to move it over to the bookstore. It was a pretty small gathering, but anyway, there was this gal and her friend that was from Kentucky that I talked to, and then there was some media people at that Finbury that were from England, and I was talking to this one gal that was there, and then there was this guy from Iowa that used to climb these towers, and I talked to him for quite a while at that Finbury. And you'll never guess, I ate breakfast. Well, I didn't eat breakfast with, but I had donuts with Scott Conway. I think the organizer for that event, oh, her name's going to escape my mind right now. But anyway, Scott and her were in the same hotel, and I think they were there and they went and got some donuts. And anyway, I ended up having donuts with Scott Conway. He was handing me this picture of this location, he said, "You can't tell anybody, and I'm not going to tell you where it's at, but do you think I should dig here?" And I kind of tried to remind him that I think Forrest said that the treasure was hidden, not buried. And then later that day, when we were at the bookstore, uh, Forrest Fenn, dragged Scott out into the hallway, and they had, I don't know, some sort of conversation or whatever. But then later we find out that he had rented an excavator, and he was doing a big dig. It is like, oh wow, man, Scott Conway's big dig. I think that was at Elvado Lake. I'm not 100% sure what lake it was. But anyway, I mean, it was funny. And then the other funny thing that I learned at that Finbury is that Forrest hearing is selective. I mean, he's whispering to Dorothy Massey, and Dorothy Massey's whispering to him something about the internet going down at the bookstore. And I couldn't hear them, and I was literally 3 feet away, but they were carrying on a conversation. And I'm thinking, I thought you couldn't hear people. What kind of story was that? Anyway, I think he was making something up. Um, okay, so nomadic madman. Okay, so you took Highway 56 from Clayton uh, to Boise City, right? But then when you got to, yeah, you take Highway 56 from Clayton to Boise City. And then from Boise City, though, I think you wouldn't want to take 56 because 56 is going to keep taking you north. And I'm taking 56 Highway tomorrow at 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to get on at McPherson. And once I get on 56 Highway at McPherson, I will then be in Clayton, all on one road. Uh, oh, nomadic, you did get through Wichita. Well, you took 400 then. Then you took 400 over to Wichita. We're reminiscing about the route that Nomadic Madman took. But yeah, so what you did is you left Santa Fe, New Mexico, and you went south to get around the mountains. Because otherwise, if you try to go up to Taos and through the mountains, it takes forever. So you usually just go south, and then you get on 25, and you run all the way up on 25 until you get to uh, a road that takes you to Clayton, uh, and then you get on 56 and go to Wichita, and then you head east. Oh no! Oh, so nomadic madman, you took the mountain route then. You took, oh God, that's terribly, oh God, I hate driving that. So if you were in Santa Fe, you went up past a couple of pueblos on your way north, and then you took the high road to Taos there, going by Eagle's Nest Lake, and a few other fun places. Or you could have went by Treacherous, and that would have been another way to get that direction. But yeah, going through Cimarron, yeah, then there's a big long stretch from Cimarron that you get over to 25. Uh, so Nomadic's going to correct me. Here's his route. I went to Cimarron, to Wichita, and Oklahoma, then Kansas, and to Missouri. Wherever Siri took you. I think Siri took you for a ride. Good old Siri taking you for a ride. Well, anyway, I I know this route to New Mexico pretty well. you several Finburys, a Benbury, a visit to the museum, another visit to the museum, and so yeah, I about wore the road out. So my my in 20, let's see, what was it, in May of 2025. I'd never been to New Mexico before, and oh, excuse me, 2015. It's been a long 10 years. Anyway, so in 2015, about May, it's the first time I ever went to New Mexico, and I'd been in this Forrest Fenn treasure hunt for 2 years, year and a half. Whenever Janet Shamlian was doing her NBC uh, interviews, and I'd kind of just been doing research, trying to figure out if there's a feasible location for the treasure. And Forrest kept giving out these ad hoc clues on the old Santa Fe Trading Company website. And I started I started getting a feeling that maybe I could narrow this down. I didn't really expect to find anything, but it was kind of like a vacation, and so I took off, headed out there, and man, I tell you what, gold fever hit me about the time I got to the Rio Grande. Uh, well, actually, gold fever hit me as soon as I got to Cimarron and the Brown Hotel. Well, it's not the Brown Hotel, but anyway, I took that route, Taos, Cimarron, Eagles Nest Lake, and I swore to people on the blogs that the treasure was at Eagles Nest Lake for the longest time on the blogs. I told them I solved and everything. Well, I went there and I could see, there you go by the lake, and then there's Wheeler Peak, and you can see Taos Peak, and you can see some mountains from there, snow capped, if you will. And I decided that's just too small of an area, too many fishermen, and so I decided, nah, that can't be it. That can't be it. So I decided, I had several places. Uh, my next location, honestly, was White Rock, and then the Rio Grande, and the Atoe crossing. So in that first day, I got to the visitor center along the Rio Grande. I looked at Taos, um, but I mean I had not really thought it would be in Taos, because even though he had so many connections to the artist community and the artist society, and there was that Fly Taos uh, thing, and he threw the ashes of um, uh, the lady who had the bathtub, his father, out the window at Taos. But there was so much of that was Indian land, and there was so little opportunities where somebody could put it. Uh, and then I drove the whole length of the Rio Grande, where you can come in at at the visitor center, and then drive up and go across the bridge, and then drive up the snaky road out of the canyon on the other side, and then you can go across the big bridge that takes you over the top. And I did that route, and I'm going, well, where in the hell would Forrest hide it in this? What would be? There was no sage, there was no pinyon trees in that the Rio Grande Canyon. Take it in the canyon down, not far, but too far to walk, but in below the Homer Brown. There's no Homer Brown. I mean, oh, yeah, it's brown trout, right? Well, if you want a Homer Brown and the Brown's brown trout, go try Treacherous, because Treacherous means trout. Anyway, oh, you'll be going by there on the high road, by the way. Uh, well, let's see if I can do a top five, and I'm only going to be on for like 30 minutes because I gotta get to bed early. Fantastic's number one. Jeff's number two. Nomadic Madman comes in at the number three. Luli, looks like you're number four tonight, and that's it. We've got the top four. Uh, did I miss anybody? I thought for sure I'd have a top five. No top five. Oh well, that's the way it goes. Way it goes. No top five. Anyway, so yeah, it was tea with Olga. It was Olga's husband. Sweet Pea comes in, claims the number five spot. We do have a top five. Thank you. Thank you for bringing me in the top five. I'm so glad we had the top five. Uh, Lily Bell, are you going? Gaspard, nine, not going. What's going on there? Okay, well, anyway. So I did that, and then I went up to White Rock, and I thought for sure that maybe that whole thing about Forrest and the atomic bomb, him having the atomic bomb, and at one time he had uh, a picture of him in front of the ranch catalog. Okay, so there was these books on the bookshelf behind him, and it looked like a curated set of books. And I kind of analyzed that photography for clues, and one of the things was the ranch catalog. Well, the ranch school is actually the buildings up there at Los Alamos that were converted into the laboratory. Okay. And so I kept looking for this ranch school, if you will. And I eventually found one I really liked, by the way. Um, uh, but that's a whole different story. But it wasn't that ranch school. Well, there's OK Larry uh, shamefully claiming the number 6 spot. Anyway, so uh, so I went on up to White Rock, and I didn't find the treasure at Los Alamos or White Rock. Then I found the Cities of Gold Hotel, and I went there and stayed the night. The next day, a lot of people were looking up at Ojo Caliente, and I went and checked out the Ojo Caliente um, thing. And then I drove around, and then on the way back, I went up through by Treches because I was obsessed. I was obsessed with this movie called something like the something Beanfield Wars uh, because it had a certain actor in it, and Forrest had played up the name of this actor, and something being, and it was filmed there, and so I thought, well, brown trout, is brown, is Trutches the trout he's talking about. There was plenty of sage and pinyon trees there, but no real public land, no real public land to look at. And so, uh, yeah, the something miracle. I think you're right. Anyway, so that was kind of interesting. Uh, so that's kind of what the fun was there, and then on my way back, I just was on vacation, taking a leisurely route back home, and got lost a couple times and drove around, and the rest is history. Uh, the rest is history. Now, if I was the true solver, Forrest might have claimed that you stumbled upon it. You're not going to stumble upon that treasure. Well, if you give too many clues, you might stumble upon something you mentioned. Anyway, so there was that fun involved, but oh, good old Idaho. So maybe tomorrow after I go look at the arroyo, I'll go look at the waterfall because Folsom has a waterfall, but it's been closed for a long time. It's actually a little hot spring. People used to go bathe in it, but I think that they closed it because there was too much. People were littering, and it became an eyesore as opposed to a thing. And anyway, so that's kind of what was going on there. And anyway, all right. Well, I am going to call it a good evening, and just wanted to let people know I was planning on still making it out to the show. I got my reservation. I don't know where it's at. I gotta find it. Oh, here it is. I got my event. I got my Eventbrite printed out right here. So I'm gonna bring that with me. And then I made this hotel. I made this hotel reservation a month ago, and I've had bad experiences with hotel reservations that you make too far in advance. And I'm going to tell you now why you should probably not stay at a certain hotel in Topeka. Uh, Oh, you like the new camera? Is this a better camera? Well, I did. I finally figured out how to use the built-in camera on my Dell monitor. Apparently, you needed another cord to go from the camera on the back of this thing over to your computer. It doesn't go through the video cable. Who knew? So I plugged in a different cable and I plugged that in to the computer, and I still have my wall front camera, but I'm actually using a camera that's integrated into the monitor. That's why the shot probably looks different. But uh, anyway, uh, are you going to New Mexico? Yeah, I'm getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm going to drive. Uh, I'm driving out to this tour. I'm going to the Folsom site tour. I'm going to the 1 o'clock showing. So I that's some, and then I'm going to stay in Raton, and I think Jeff said he might is going to head up there. Uh, so then we might go eat at K Bob's, the old steakhouse. So anyway, uh, so yeah, everybody's welcome. Uh, what's what's going on? I don't know how it could be. There's not a whole lot of mystery. Folsom site tour. Oh well, it doesn't say. So I'm gonna go look at the. I'm gonna look at where they found some bison, antiquus. Not the young bison with arrows in them, but I'm going to look at the place where they found bison with Clovis points in them, and there'll be some university professors. Oh, that reminds me. Don't let me forget to take a chair because my fat ass will have to sit down. I got to take a chair. Uh, uh, yeah, I mean, nomadic. You were so close. You were a week off. Uh, oh, oh, Sweet Pea was wanting to know if Lou Lee's having a meetup. But yeah. Anyway, well, there is going to be a get together in Santa Fe. There's going to be a Ben Baree in August, and you could have a chance to win a chest. Anyway, uh, get me a hand. I don't think they're handing out Clovis points. Uh, but if you want some, you're still in Santa Fe. If you go to Sandia Crest to the Tinkertown Museum, they actually sell Indian points. They have a whole dish of them. They're about $2 a piece, maybe five now with inflation. I go to the weirdest places. I've been to the Tinkertown Museum in Sandia Crest. Uh, that this was when I was uh, telling Forrest Fenn that I was going to find all the answer to his treasure in Rio Rancho. Talk about a cat in a room full of rocking chairs with a really long tail. Pretty nervous. You might say I had a petrified forest. Anyway, are there any four-leaf Clovis points? I don't know. You would definitely be in luck if you could look over a four-leaf Clovis point. Yes. Fantastic said, "Did you solve the Salina hunt?" No, I did not. We do have new clues up, and it might be found by the time I get back Sunday night or Monday. So I'm gonna have to give up on that one. But here's my best guess on where it's at. It's either at Lakewood Park or it's at the Magnolia Soccer Complex. I've been trying to solve it with AI. I've been trying to solve my local treasure hunt using AI. It might work, but it might not work. Hey, 10K, good to see ya. Oh, there's Trusted Living slipping in the room. Well, anyway, like I said, this is probably going to be I'm going to cut this off at 9:30, so I can get my beauty rest for tomorrow. What do you think the clues answers were or are? Well, I think it could the pitch could be a pitcher's mound for baseball. It could be a pitch as in a soccer field. So I think that they're leading you to a location near ball fields. There could be a pull-up bar. There's a Bill Burke pull-up bar area in that park. Uh, it's a random guess until you get about 5 or 6 more clues. But people literally go out and beat the bushes for $1,000 anymore. This prize used to be $2,000 in cash, $2,000 in merchandise, and so it used to be a lot bigger prize. But uh, people always had the fallacy that they were going to get like $2,000 in cash. But if the total prize package is $4,000, you're going to probably need that cash to pay for the taxes on the total value of the prize. Uh, Fantastic. That's a good point. Head toward Aurora. There is an Aurora City Street, but usually 80% of the time, the clues to this treasure hunt cannot be taken literally. They have to be interpretive, as in Aurora means east for these people, or Aurora Borealis means north. So we can probably say that it's in the north or east part of town based upon that Aurora clue, because the Aurora Street is actually on the east side of town, but not north. And so yeah, a pull up could be a basket. That fantastic. That's the most logical thing you've said about this treasure hunt that nobody has said on any of the chat groups locally. A pull up being a basketball court and not being a pull up bar. Yeah, that's a good point. So, oh, there's this arena downtown where they play a lot of basketball. It could be downtown, I guess, but I don't know where the Aurora would be there. I've been looking. Actually, this Salina treasure hunt was my entry level drug to treasure hunting. I'm serious about this. This little tiny treasure hunt that we have for $5,000 was my gateway drug into the treasure hunting community. I've been so frustrated because I've been close over the last 20 years, maybe 3 times to finding it. And in fact, one year I found the third clue on the second day, and I just wasn't willing to go into the area where there's this poison ivy to get the damn thing. Otherwise, I might have, because I was there looking like 5 days before anybody else actually showed up. And that one went forever. That one went a long time. Uh, but yeah, that could be true. All right, folks. Well, it's 9:27. Thanks for joining in tonight. Uh, I'm gonna be heading out early in the morning. Hope everybody has a great weekend. I just wanted to kind of touch base and let people know that the show is going to go on. If I can figure out how to use this YouTube channel on my phone, I might be able to do some live streaming. I don't have enough subscribers on my. I shouldn't tell you I have 2 YouTube accounts, but anyway, I don't have enough subscribers on my phone's YouTube account. Uh, so I can't do live, but I might have enough if I get my login and password written down and log into this one. I might be able to do some live streaming from Newton, Ohio. Well, here's a closing note. So I saw some videos from a searcher in Newton, Ohio, and I also saw that the same searcher had rented or owned a property in Ohio at one time, who's now searching in Ohio. I don't know what this means. Don't know what this means. Uh, from Spring, New Mexico, I took the 412 to Boise City, then took 54 till it ended. You know, the first time I went to New Mexico, I tried to use Siri or Google or turn by turn directions. And once I got on 54, 50, 64, guess what? My map went blank. My map went blank. But the most direct route from Salina, Kansas to New Mexico is 56. It takes you right to Clayton. And then once you get to Clayton, uh, you have to decide where you're going to go. If you take if you take 50, it's a slow road. It takes forever. David uses two YouTube. Two. I'm a two-tuber. Actually, I think I use the same name on both of them, but they're not synced up. Well, I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Hope everybody has a good night. I'm going to hit the hay, set my alarm for 3:30, 4 o'clock, or I could roll the dice and just not set the alarm and see if I'm still good at getting up when I need to. I get up to go to the bathroom 3 times a night anyway. I guess I'll just pick which one. Oh, I can read you this. Um, I was pretty proud of it. Here, let me read this. This is my last bit for the night. Uh, so I wrote this. This is my. All right. So I was pretty proud about this. So I write a little article for a newspaper. I don't get paid anything to do this, but this is my story I wrote for this month. I'll read this to you. It seems like not long ago, I was helping Dad plant wheat with a 10-foot box drill and harvesting wheat with an 18-foot John Deere combine. On Sunday, we would go down to Georgie's Cafe and listen to the old farmers talk about using teams of horses, binders, and hand tying hay bales. They were always quick to emphasize how hard farming was and how I had it easy with modern machines to do the work that they did with horses and by hand. I wondered why they were not out trimming trees or fixing fence or sweeping the shop floor. But as each one got up out of their chair, there was always an awkward pause followed by a grimace on their face. Over the years, I would see some of these same farmers at the Kip and Gypsum grain cooperatives. They were sitting around drinking coffee and speculating on the price of grain and feed and whether their tenant farmers would have a good crop. Sometimes they would lament about an old farmer passing away. Over the years, that group of farmers became smaller and smaller. I began to wonder where all the old farmers had gone. My 60th birthday was last month. My friends and I were drinking coffee and talking about the weather and the crops. I was complaining about how my two nephews had it easy with a 42-foot air seeder and a combine with a 40-foot cutting platform and auto steer. There was plenty of work that I should have been doing, like fixing fence, mowing the yard, and trimming trees. When I struggled to get up from my chair due to the aches and pains of old age, it occurred to me that I'm an old farmer. While I might not be able to hand tie any bales or saddle up the horses, maybe this old farmer could sweep the shop floor. Let me finish my coffee first. Well, anyway, that was my contribution to the Spotlight magazine for this week. Uh, my story about old farmers. Yeah, Tristan, thanks so much. Yeah, thanks again for all the well wishes. Hopefully, I can drive safe and make it back in one piece. So anyway, thanks again for all that. I'm glad you like my story, but I write these little stories once a month for this little local publication that goes out to 4 or 5 different communities. And anyway, I kind of like writing. I had a blog for the Forrest Fenn treasure hunt, so I guess I'm just kind of uh, staying active with that. I wrote 3 books, and so it keeps me connected to my literature. Anyway, uh, so Nomadic is announcing that he got home. That's good. Anyway, Tim Case says that's pretty cool. Well, like I said, it's just a little gig. Anyway, all right, I gotta hit the road like in a few hours. So, good night, good luck, good seeing everybody here tonight. Signing off in 5, 1, 3, 2, something like that. Yeah, Toby Eunice would tell you, make sure you like and subscribe because YouTube likes it when you like and subscribe. All right, good night.